From wanting to retire at the top to clearing his schedule so he can introduce boxing reforms, here are the real reasons why Teofimo Lopez retired. Starting with how Lopez has always been vocal about his desire to go out on top. The 25-year-old American beat Josh Taylor by unanimous decision, and everyone was shocked because nobody expected him to. But apart from bagging the win, the takeover also became a two-weight world champion. And this guy has always wanted to prove that he's the best of the best. Now that he's finally done that, it seems like he's ready to walk away. He previously climbed the ranks when he dethroned Vasyl Lomachenko back in 2020, securing the lightweight belts in the process. But soon enough, he lost his first defense to George Kambosos just a year later. Even when he beat Sandor Martin in 2022, boxing fans were still questioning his ability and mindset. But he sure shut up his haters with the victory over Taylor. Lopez showed that he was back and better than ever, which is why it came as a shock when he announced his retirement. I mean, like I said, this guy is just 25 years old. Does Lopez really think he peaked with his win over Taylor? I mean, no offense to Taylor or anything, but there are so many better fighters Teofimo could be going up against. After the fight with Taylor, Lopez was asked the inevitable "what next" question. And trust me, nobody expected him to say retirement. But it looks like he's calling it a career. The young boxer said he was tired of everybody bullying him. He announced his retirement through Instagram, as he said he was relieved to be retiring at the top. He thanked the sport for all it's done for him and his loved ones and said that he's really given his blood, sweat, and tears to his career. Of course, retiring at the age of 25 can never be an easy decision. I mean, don't most young fighters just start reaching their true potential at that age? But Teofimo has some pretty valid concerns with his career. It seems like he's just not getting paid enough. The boxer told reporters that he just gets paid $1 million for a fight, while he's helping the big boys generate hundreds of millions of dollars per fight. It's pretty simple. Teo just thinks he's not appreciated enough and is bringing more to the table than people think. He made an appearance on the Porter Way podcast to discuss how frustrated he was with his paychecks. He said that the only way he'd be stepping back into the ring would be if he got paid in 9 figures. Yeah, that means a $100 million contract. Lopez is complaining about how everyone thinks he's the black sheep of the industry. He's comparing himself to other boxers who walk away with $10 to $15 million after a fight. Teo thinks that he's in his prime, and he's only willing to grab the boxing gloves if the price is right. This guy knows his worth, and he's not desperate enough to fight for pennies. So will Top Rank really cough up $100 million to retain Lopez? It seems like fans just don't think this is possible. I mean, sure, Lopez has 3 straight wins, but fans still think he's a mentally shaky guy. Even though he ended up winning the fights, his skills were still pretty average. And Top Rank CEO Bob Arum wasn't born yesterday. He's not going to cough up that kind of money for a boxer who can't beat elite competition. All of Teo's fights have been with pretty average opponents, and if he's struggling so hard to beat them, it's really not a good sign. I mean, what's it going to be like when he's put against some actual good fighters like Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson? Bob's not going to spoil his investment by setting up Lopez for failure. In fact, fans think Lopez only defeated Taylor because Taylor isn't as good as he used to be. He's getting old and feeble, and what fans saw in the ring was just smoke and mirrors, because Teo just looked better by comparison. I mean, when someone like Catterall is looking good against Taylor, that's pretty much the only sign you need to know that Taylor isn't as good as he used to be. And that's the only reason Lopez actually looked good for the first time since 2020. That's why fans think Teo will never get that $100 million contract. It's just not going to do anything for Top Rank. They're not running a charity after all. So it seems like Teo will be retired for a pretty long time, unless he gets off his high horse. But what do fans think about this? Well, like always, we have mixed reactions. To say that fans were shocked by the retirement would be an understatement. It's not something they expected to hear after a phenomenal fight. Some fans were pretty upset at Teo's decision. They didn't like how the young boxer was acting like he fought everyone and achieved everything. He still had a far way to go after all, and other fans have pointed this out, as they bombard Lopez with questions, asking why he's retiring now, when he hasn't even gone up against fighters like Tank or Haney. It's understandable why fans are so confused. Teo's just reached the peak of his career, and instead of cashing in his newfound popularity, it's absurd to think he's stepping away just when things are getting good. But other fans have been super supportive. They think that Lopez has had a stellar career and put on a great show with that last fight. They respect his decision to step away and are just super happy about his last victory. Some fans think Teo's just putting on a show to get a pay raise. Under Teo's Instagram post, one user commented, "Retiring like Fury retiring, or retiring like actually retiring?" And that's a pretty good question. So, is Lopez retiring for real? Many fans think this isn't the case because he's still got so much unfinished business. I mean, Teo just handed Taylor the first loss of his entire career. He can't just leave after that. This win could be his ticket to get into fights with killers like Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia. But it seems like all of this isn't on the table right now. Of course, this is a boxing retirement, and we all know those don't last long. Tyson Fury, anyone? And Teo's just 25 right now. It seems like he's just a kid who let the pressure get to him. He got a lot of hate after his loss to Kambosos, and it looks like he let the voices get to him. Many fans think he just needs some time off and he'll be back to boxing when things calm down a little. I don't know about that though, because it looks like Lopez loved the pressure. Speaking to reporters after the fight, Teo said that it's the pressure that makes diamonds, and he needed the pressure to be on him for his win against Taylor. He even went as far as saying that he loved coming into the fight as an underdog. Even if he does end up retiring for good, he won't be the only boxer to step out of the ring at a young age, although other boxers may have called it quits when they absolutely had to. I mean, when we're talking about young retirements, Nicola Adams comes to mind, but she had to step away because of the risk of permanent vision loss. Which sucks, because she was the first ever female Olympic boxing champion, and everyone was excited to see which glass ceiling she would shatter next. It just wasn't meant to be, however, and Nicola retired in 2019 when she was just 36 years old. Still, that's a whole decade older than Lopez, and then some. Dmitry Pirog is another boxer who called it quits quite early on. He retired at the age of 32, which again isn't as young as Taylor. Plus, it seems like he had other things to focus on because soon after he quit boxing, he got into politics. Plus, it was a pesky spinal injury that forced him out of the sport in the first place. But Lopez has no excuse. He's perfectly fine. So what's next for this guy, if not boxing? Well, he's set on reforming the sport for good. The young American opened up about how he had so many ideas for the sport. Maybe now that he doesn't have to spend his days training or preparing for upcoming fights, he can finally focus on these other goals. Apparently, Lopez wants to end the corruption that's going on in the sport. He thinks that fighters are treated like slaves, even though they're the ones that fans buy tickets for. Teo thinks that if he just stays quiet and keeps fighting, the promotion will continue to give him pennies. And he knows he's worth more than that, like so many other fighters. And that's why he's looking to change the boxing culture once and for all. And there you have it. From clearing his schedule so he can introduce boxing reforms, to his desire to retire at the top, here were the real reasons why Teofimo Lopez retired.